think the most beautiful thing is just seeing children being raised, and especially in the Catholic faith. And not only do I get to witness that, but I also get to take part in it.
And just really making the church life part of our home life.
And also keeping this community of love and prayer, and it's a lot of responsibility, but in the end, it's super rewarding.
Families would come to us and say, how you do it? How you do it? And by the grace of God, I mean, it happens.
Because whenever I go somewhere, they're like, are you a Simone? I'm like, yes.
Yeah, so it was a beautiful, crisp, sunny day in October of 2011.
No,
Or 2000,
2000.
sorry. In October of 2000.
We gotta keep it really easy because, whatever year it is how long we've been married. So we're
right.
2023, been married 23 years.
Yes. And we got married in St. Charles Borromeo in Sunset, Louisiana.
Beautiful.
And it was just, like I said, a beautiful day. All of my siblings and Michelle's siblings were all in the wedding.
And started our married life together. When we arrived at home, there was a note on the door that said, be ready to go at 2 o'clock in the morning.
But Denise, our firstborn, was born in Longview, Texas. And we never forget because it was April 1st, April Fool's Day. And so we were scheduled for...
Well, I was already 2 weeks late, but I had no complications. So we go and we get to the hospital and we're going to check in, and she was like, I'm sorry, there's no room for you. And I was like, April Fool's? And she was like, no, seriously, the hospital is full. So they sent us back home and then ended up calling us later. And
part about the delivery, and fortunately, Michelle, all the deliveries were naturally delivered, but we never knew the gender.
Yeah, we never find out.
And so it was always an exciting moment. And I was practically the first one to find out what we were having.
Yeah.
And so never forget.
Yeah, the doctor's like, when the baby comes out, they're like, it's a, and then David got to say,
it takes
girl.
me a second to figure it out.
Yeah.
It's a girl.
We had 2 girls, 2 boys, 2 girls, a boy, and then our last baby was gonna be a surprise. And we were thinking, are we gonna complete the pattern? Are we gonna, and it came out a little girl. So she broke the pattern, and she's kind of been that way. She's real feisty like that. But they all have such unique individual personalities. Some of it has to do with what number they are, but like our oldest daughter, Denise, she is in charge, a leader. Her love language is acts of service. She loves to bake and cook, so you find her a lot of times, cooking and doing that for us. Yeah, serving.
I'm the guinea pig for many things. They're the most strict on the first child, so definitely take the brunt of all things. But it's really good. I mean, taking care of all the kids, it's fun. Being the second mom to all of them, it's good.
Lucy, she's the fun. She brings the fun.
Life of the party.
Yeah, always singing, always, spinning the kids around, and be the first one to go do an art project or craft or go run around outside.
Throwing football with the brothers.
Yeah.
I think growing up, going to like friends' houses where there's like 1 or 2 kids, it's like super quiet. Everything's like turned down like 6 notches. And so when people come over to our house, it's like crazy. People can't believe it that it's always this loud. So it's definitely, it brings a lot of joy because you never are bored. It's never quiet.
Quinn is very strong, very smart, and hardworking. Definitely also a leader. Very confident in who he is, and a good example to his younger siblings. And also just a really good friend to his older sisters.
I'd say it's pretty good. It's kind of out of the ordinary. Not many people are of big families. Like all my friends are like one of two, three. And so it's just kind of like unique, and everyone knows us because of our big car and all of our kids. And I'd say it's pretty special and cool.
Victor is our number 4, and he is never in a rush, and he's very artistic. He loves to draw. He loves to create. I always call him my stealth ninja because like he could just stay under the radar really easily.
Yeah.
Well, how do I say this? So somebody knows my sibling, and then they know my last name. So like it's funny because whenever I go somewhere, they're like, "Are you a Simone?" I'm like, "Yes." And they're like, "Oh, I know so and so," and I'm like, "Oh, really?" It's really funny. But also I get my brother's name. Like everybody calls me Quinn, but I'm Victor, and they're like, "Oh, my bad." It's funny.
Also with Edith is, she's got a tender heart. She is so compassionate, very observant. She's always watching. You know, she always is wanting to know if everyone's feeling okay. Always the first one to say, "How was your day?" Denise is like the older mommy, and she's like the little mommy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that if you have more siblings, you can have more fun. And yeah, that's why I like having more siblings.
Cecilia,
Also,
she's spunky. She's always flipping in the house. She's a little, I would say, opposite of
Definite
Edith.
opposite.
Of Edith is she's just, there's never a calm.
no, she's always
part about
intense,
her.
firecracker. Everything is a must and a now and a, but joyful, definitely joyful, and excited about everything. Everything said with her eyebrows up, and with such intensity.
And Harvey is
A little gentleman.
you know, a little gentleman and looks up to his big brothers. So he has role models
He's also
above
sensitive,
him.
though. He always he wants hugs, always to be close to us.
Always wants to sleep with us
Yeah.
at night. I'm like, all right, Harvey, it's time you step it up and sleep with your brothers in their room.
He's still a creepy crawler. He comes in
Yeah.
at night.
I like to play with my sisters and brothers. Sometimes it's really annoying. Sometimes.
And then finally we have Althea.
Yeah, and she's the youngest of all of the cousins, and so she just brings
gets
a
attention.
light. Yeah, she gets a lot of attention.
We make every effort to go support one another. Harvey had a soccer game on Saturdays, and so we go as a family.
Yeah, it's
Just-
important that we're witnessing each other's joyful moments. And so we're really excited because our Cecilia, is about to make her first communion, and she's so excited, and it's going to be this beautiful next step in welcoming to the Lord's table.
one of 6 kids. Quite unique about our family, we have 2 sets of twins in my family. So I'm a twin, I have a twin brother. So I enjoyed chemistry, enjoyed math, graduated in chemical engineering, and my first job in Elk City, Oklahoma. And married my beautiful wife, Michelle. My job took us all over the country. For the last 20 years, we moved in various parts of the oil and gas. So we raised a family throughout our 20 years.
I was born and raised in Lafayette, Louisiana, and I grew up the middle child of 5 kids. We would go to church every Sunday. We always prayed together as a family. My grandfather and both my grandmother used to say, a family that prays together stays together. So we grew up with that mentality.
Growing up, I would consider us as being cradle Catholic. We never missed Mass. Every Sunday we went to Mass. We learned how to pray a rosary, and that was the extent. We did have a faith.
We grew up in a very Catholic culture, which, so we knew a lot of the what to do's, but we did not really know why we do it. And I guess I just wasn't really asking the questions because I never really questioned my faith. I really never had a reason to. Most of the people that I grew up around were Catholic. No one was really asking questions.
So, how I met Michelle. So I was actually in a relationship all through my high school years. For some reason, it didn't work out. Well, one of my sisters, who's a twin, called my brother and asked, hey, there's 2 girls that I work with that I'd like for you to meet. And so my brother called me and said, David, there's 2 girls. Maria wants us to meet. Do you want to come? I was like, absolutely. Maria, my sister, introduced 2 girls, and one was Michelle, my wife.
I met David when I was 19, and I worked with this really spunky, fun girl named Maria, and we hit it off right away. We were just best friends right away, and like work best friends. And we also worked with a girl named Jocelyn, and she and we ended up being roommates. And so Jocelyn was single, and Maria was like, look, I have twin brothers, and I can introduce y'all. And so anyway, Jocelyn and I were roommates, and we went and met Maria's twin brothers. And I joked because I was telling Maria, not that I don't love Brad, because I do, but I was telling Jocelyn, I said, if I were you, I'd go for David. And which obviously I did. So after we met them, Jocelyn and Brad, they started dating immediately. And then David and I started dating a little bit later on.
So Michelle and I continued to date, and I never forget, Michelle invited me to her mom and dad's house. So she invited me over, and they were wanting to say a rosary. And so her dad said, David, can you lead the rosary? I was like, what? And so I did. And I think that was the pivotal point, the acceptance of her dad, her mom, and the brothers and sisters. And so when I graduated college, I proposed to Michelle. So we were engaged.
So I got to be sister-in-laws with my 2 best friends. And so I love that. But when we first met, David was from a large family, and I was from a large family, and we both knew we wanted a large family, knew we wanted to have a large family. We were always open to life. We were so close to our families. We'd have lunch every Sunday with my family or with David's family.
I got a job offer. It was in Elk City, Oklahoma. And you may understand this, but let me just reiterate. People from South Louisiana, they don't leave. This is the culture here that just keeps us here. families grow and it's just a small bubble. And so we leave and it was like a death in the family, you know, because my father-in-law and mother-in-law's first daughter is moving away, and my mom and dad's first son is moving away.
We did not ever want to leave, and it moved us 13 hours away. Was the first time we ever had been away from our family for any length of time. And it was a whole new world.
Can't believe what I found, but knowing will you take my hand? Just smile and say, catch me if you can.
But it really brought us closer because we had to raise our kids on our own. We had to learn from the mistakes in life on our own. And it just brought our relationship closer to go through the trials and tribulations, but having God in the center at all times. And that's what really allowed us to grow stronger in our faith.
And the one thing that was a huge impact on us was that most people we knew were not Catholic. They were actually anti-Catholic. And we had never been in a point in our life to where we had to defend our faith. And to be quite honest, we didn't really know our faith. We had a faith, but we didn't understand where that was from and the reasons as to why. And I didn't know if there was reasons as to why we did it. I just knew that it was a tradition that had been passed on. The ones who were anti-Catholic, because they challenged me as a Catholic. And I knew why I believed. I mean, I knew what I believed, but I didn't know why I believed it. So that set me on a journey to find truth, to seek the truth. And that has just, it changed our whole way of living and parenting.
Trail with you, the one that starts right when we say I do.
So having a big family, all kids, they're all different ages and they require a certain amount of support in whatever they're going through. For us, we've always been an open book to where our kids are never scared to talk to us about anything. And we started that at a very young age, that we, as the mom and dad, are not perfect, and they know we're not perfect, and they're not perfect, and they understand that. So when they run into situations, they feel open to talk to us.
Not one of perfection. Nobody's perfect. We definitely are not perfect. They show us grace, and we do the same thing for them. But that doesn't mean that we don't call them to a higher purpose or hold an expectation really high. But I think because David is humble and he's the leader in that way, we're able to have a dialogue to where they can come to us and say, something's going on, I need to talk to you about this, or, and then have that relationship to where we know that there's going to be trials and failures, but we don't judge. It's just pick yourself back up, move forward, and you can always come to us. That's really, I think that helps aid, and David leads us in that.
The big question is, how you able to father 8 kids? We're not a perfect family, but my ultimate goal as a father is for my kids and my wife to get to heaven. So I have a critical role. I have a critical role that has to play in my kids' life, and that is to understand my faith, to teach my kids our faith, to live our faith within our house and outside the community.
We're raising, we're in love with our kids, but we're raising these beautiful people who we want to be around. So that's the whole idea, I guess, in the way that we try to run our family dynamic.
The real joy in a big family is chaos. Never a dull moment, challenges.
And each child just brought more joy, more love, a different dynamic, and it continues to.
And it helped shape who we are as the mom and dad. Families would come to us and say, how you do it? How you do it? And by the grace of God, I mean, it happens. It
The
just
Lord
happens.
gives you the grace.
Once you're open to new life, God will give you the graces needed to continue, raising the family that we're raising today, and with the patience and everything else that comes with it. That's how it's done.
Yeah.
With the grace of God. We are the Simone family.
And we're joyfully big!
Are you searching for purpose of life? Discover your true identity. Stay tuned to Shalom World.